Hi, my name is Jack Mclean and I'm the founder of Prepare Like a Pro. Growing up, I loved playing cricket and football and had a strong passion for helping others. Over the past 11 years working in the industry, I've been lucky enough to have worked alongside Sean Murphy, the head strength and conditioning coach at Essendon, Luke Boyd, physical performance manager at Hawthorn, and interned under Andrew Russell, high performance director at Carlton. I started Prepare Like a Pro after my time as a strength and conditioning coach at Hawthorn Football Club to help developing footballers gain a competitive edge with AFL standard preparation methods. If you're a developing footballer wanting to take your game to the next level, we'd love to help you. At Prepare Like a Pro, you can expect to not only improve your athleticism, but also lower your risk of injury or overload. There are training programs suitable for every level of involvement. I would love to help you choose the one that best suits your goals and personal motivation. Head to our Inquire Now page and I'll get back to you soon. Welcome to Prepare Like a Pro Live Chat Sunday show. Thank you for tuning in. Really excited to announce that we'll be having some huge guests coming onto the show this week for our live chats. And we've also changed our podcast episode model where these Sunday episodes will move into our Monday podcast, and our original Monday episode will now drop on Tuesday. And we're continuing, and we started it last week to launch a new episode on a Friday. So that's continuing. So you'll get 2 episodes each week. And then this Sunday where we debrief last week's live guests as well as the presentation. And we'll talk about the guests that we have on the live show this week. So everyone's well informed on when to tune in and where to catch these live chats. So you can send through your questions for the guests and our Academy members can jump on for a live Q&A. At Prepare Like a Pro, for those new to the Prepare Like a Pro live chat show, we're committed here to help Australian rules footballers and developing strength and conditioning coaches with best practice physical preparation methods. If you have any questions about what we do here at Prepare Like a Pro, Instagram's the best place to message us. Feel free to direct message us there, or you can email us at jack@preparelikeapro.com. All right, let's get into the show, guys. So last week I had Jordan Stairs on Tuesday, 8 p.m. That was an awesome chat. He's the West Coast strength and conditioning coach. He discussed what worked for him during his career, and the real big takeaways from mine at least were his persistence to stick at it, not only put himself out there by emailing all the clubs in the country, but also he continually put himself forward to give himself opportunities in elite sport. And you don't hear it very often of people doing that in year one in their degree. So that was super inspiring and I know really helpful for S&Cs out there. Don't wait for your degree to finish to get experience, but get it while you can when you start the degree, and that will make the most of not only your course, but also when you are qualified, you're more likely to, like Jordan, get a job when you can start working on your coaching skills. The second one, he talked about the importance of meetings. They reduced their meetings at West Coast this year, and largely due to COVID. That's something that they've reviewed and they're looking at increasing for the medical and performance team. So I thought that was super interesting. And that was something that he addressed. So making sure that communication's a strong suit and catching up more than once a week. So they're looking to aim towards 2 to 3 times a week, which I think for anyone that's working in a team, that may be something that you want to look to on or review at the end of the year, is your way that you conduct your meetings, as well as what's an effective sweet spot where you're not doing enough or maybe you're doing too much. So as he mentioned in the past, they had up to 4 meetings where they feel like maybe 2 or 3 a week, maybe the sweet spot. So that was a really interesting one. And then the other one that just kept popping up was his ability to ask questions, send emails, get on the phone. He was big on, like, he's done his PhD, but he was also big on speaking to colleagues in the industry and learning off them and asking questions on how they go about doing things. So that was something that I noted down. I thought that's pretty impressive for someone that's been at the pinnacle in their research. He still looked to the research, but a lot of the ways that he improves his skills now were more looking at how he can use his knowledge, like things like communication and working with his colleagues and using his working closely with his team to ensure that they're all working together for the athlete. The next live chat that we had was Dom Condo, the senior dietitian at Geelong Catch, is also a senior lecturer for the sports nutrition at Deakin, and she looks after the Boomers in the WNBL as well. So she was super passionate. That was a great chat. For both of these chats, if you guys missed it and you're tuning in either from Instagram or on our Facebook or LinkedIn, those chats with Jordan and Dom Condo, you can catch them on our YouTube channel under the playlist PLPlivechats, and you can watch those. In terms of the podcast, we're about 8 weeks ahead now that we're releasing 2 episodes a week. So those ones will launch in around November for the podcast episode. But yeah, if you want to watch those ones, head over to the YouTube channel and you can watch them from the very start. And they're both fantastic chats. Like Dom has massive amount of passion. You can tell with her energy in the field. Some of the big takeaways I found from that she addressed was the importance of getting her PhD and how that was a real separator for those in the industry, and it really opened up a lot more doors early on. So that was a real key point that Dom talked about for sports dietitians out there, to make sure that you have something that's going to separate you from the industry. So whether that be a PhD or it might be really strengthening your brand online with social media and that sort of thing, and writing blogs and getting your name out there, or just simply getting experience and shadowing under people like she did as well. So she started working at Adelaide, shadowing under a mentor, and was big on getting your hands dirty and getting experience as a dietitian. And that progressed to her running her first program in a Stanford program. So there was a couple of real big gems that she was talking about that worked well for her. I'm a big believer that success leaves clues, and clearly she's had a lot of success in her career. So for any sports dietitians listening out there, definitely tune into that chat with Dominique Condo. Another thing that she mentioned as well was the importance of working in other sports. So the one sport that she hasn't worked with at the moment is with individual athletes. She's experienced most team-based athletes, so she's looking at improving her ability to coach and help athletes by starting to work with some individual athletes, maybe for sports like Olympics and things like that. So even people that have done their PhD, worked in universities and elite sports, are still trying to get better, which is pretty impressive. The presentation that I put on our live chat show last week was on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. We're going to stick with that next week. So last week was on mobility for AFL, and you can also catch that if you missed it, the live presentation at 8 p.m. for how to increase your mobility. That's also in our YouTube channel under the PLP Live Chats playlist. This week it's going to be, sorry about that, the lights come out. It's going to be on nutrition. So we've got just a basic nutrition 101. Just sent through a question, Kevin. Where do you go? I'll answer questions. If anyone's got some questions, send them through, guys. Arav, I'll answer yours in about 10 minutes or so, mate. Good question. If you've got any questions, guys, and you're watching from Instagram, head to our YouTube channel. There's a chat box there that you can stream live and watch this chat and send through your questions. If there's any problems with your athlete development or any challenges that you're having, they're front of mind. I often find it helps to ask someone that works in that area, like myself. So feel free to send through those questions and I'll give it my best shot. So head to the YouTube channel to be able to do that. So in terms of this week, the free presentation at 8 p.m. on Wednesday is going to be around nutrition. I'm not a nutritionist, so it's just going to be basically on the important things with the nutritionists that I've worked with and the small nutrition that we did in our sports science degree. It's just going to be simply on the basics and things that the importance of eating healthy, getting plenty of colour in your food, making sure that you're well hydrated. So just a good refresher for those that haven't been presented to before, or maybe it's been a little while and you need a bit of a refresher on some of these topics. Tune in, pencil in the 8 p.m. Wednesday night. And in terms of our live interviews next week, we've got Michael Rischitelli on at 8 p.m. Thursday. Okay, so he played Brisbane Lions and Gold Coast Suns. He's now doing a bit of coaching. So it'll be interesting to chat with him about his career as well as what he's doing after his career. And then we've got Jarrod Egan, who worked as a sports science strength and conditioning coach at Port Adelaide a number of years ago. And he's now the senior athletic development coach at Sydney Grammar. So, really interesting to chat with him. We've had a couple of guys now that have worked in elite sport and now working in the high school settings. So it seems to be a bit of a trend, and it's awesome to see that Australian rules football as well as athletics are following potentially some other countries like America, where they're putting an emphasis on athlete development in our youth, which is pretty cool. And Jarrod's a great coach. I've heard a lot of great things about him, and it'd be really good to discuss what he did during his career and how he got to where he is at the moment. And then in terms of our podcast that dropped this week, we've got Belle Dawes, the pocket rocket for the Brisbane Lions, premiership player. She was drafted in 2019. That launches on Tuesday. For those tuning in a little bit later on, I just mentioned earlier in the chat, our Monday episode has now moved to Tuesdays. And then we've got 2 episodes launching a week. So our next podcast will be on Friday, and that's with Stefan Mauk, who he's the founder of the Inner Game Journal. For those that are not aware, head over to the Instagram page, Inner Game Journal. It's all about working on your mental game. And Stefan in this podcast talks about all the different methods that he did with sports psychologists and different journals that he's used with gratefulness and a lot of mindset training that he's done over the years. And he's now compiled all those and put them together into a journal that he feels best suits athletes. So head over to Any Game Journal if you're interested in working in your mental game. It was a great podcast, right? Make sure you tune in 8 p.m. Not 8 p.m. Sorry, Friday morning that one launches. If you're not subscribed to the podcast, we're on all your main directories, iTunes and Spotify, and they're the 2 podcasts that are coming up this week. So Belle Dawes on Tuesday, and then Stefan Mauk from Inner Game Journal on Friday. And in terms of questions, I had Jacob sent through, and then Arav, I'll get to yours as well. Do you guys have an internship program? We do. Our academy, which I'll play a video in a second, our academy is very similar to an internship, I guess you could call it, where we have developing footballers, but mainly developing strength and conditioning coaches subscribing. It's a Patreon subscription. It's only $20 a month. And what that allows you is a free one-on-one Zoom session with myself where we talk about your career and your ambitions in that one-on-one Zoom session, and any areas that you want help with and any problems you're sort of having in your career and what you're focusing on, what your goals are, and that sort of thing. So that's around a 30 to 45-minute one-on-one chat with myself. And the Academy subscribers get free access to all our presentations that you can see on our store, as well as a 30% discount on our online strength and conditioning program. So rather than being $99 a month, for them it's $69. And they also get the ability to come on to all of our live chats and ask the guests questions. So you may have noticed at times I'll have a co-host with me, and that is our academy members. So they get to ask the person that I'm interviewing a couple of questions to help their game. So that's our most recent service. And for Jacob that asked, do we have an internship? I would say that's as close to an internship that you can get. And for as little as $20 a month, you get access to all those perks. I'll play a video about the academy. You can also find out more information by clicking the link in our Instagram bio. We've got a video about our academy, as well as a link that goes to our Patreon page that displays all of those things that I just mentioned. And then, Arav, where do you go after club footy? I guess that depends on your age group. Like some guys have been going to NAB League, obviously your state league football in terms of progressions. That's what I assume you're talking about. So they'd be the main ones. And then within club footy, obviously you got your reserves and seniors. Is that what you're sort of getting at, mate? Like in terms of where do you go after club footy? I imagine that's where it would be. So that would be either state league, NAB league for those playing juniors, and then AFL being at the top. If you have any more questions, guys, feel free to send them through. I think that's pretty much covered it. So we had Jordan Stairs last week from West Coast Eagles, Dom Condo from Geelong. This week we've got Belle Dawes. That premieres on the YouTube channel at 10 p.m. tomorrow night. Our over sent through. Yeah, if you want to try and go to the AFL, I would. You are seeing some players these days getting drafted from Victorian Amateur Football League, so you can get drafted from clubs certainly. And we've had a couple of guys like Anthony Scott on the podcast, and he talked about that playing your best footy, no matter what league it is. Obviously, it's got to be a certain standard. So for him, he was playing in VAFA A, and that really helped build momentum because he had a great year there, and then he was invited to go down to Richmond as well as the Western Bulldogs, and he chose to go to Western Bulldogs, and he found that helped his opportunity to actually get games, whereas some of his other mates went straight to VFL clubs rather than going to club level, and it was a lot harder for them to get an opportunity. So definitely you can get drafted from club level. Obviously, it's incredibly hard, and not many do it, but there are some people out there that have. Check out the chat with Anthony Scott on the podcast. That was a great one, and that might be a bit of inspiration for you. Yeah, that's it, guys. So if you have any questions, feel free to hit us up on Instagram. That's our main platform. And if you're interested in working with us, we have a few strength and conditioning coaches. Our giveaway for tonight is going to be pick your favorite coach on our website. Take a photo, a screenshot, and post it on your Instagram story. Make sure to tag Prepare Like a Pro, and I'll give you 30% off if you do it tonight with that coach, an individualized strength and conditioning program. Okay, so all you need to do, go to our website, screenshot your favorite coach, tag it on Prepare Like a Pro, and then you get 30% off our individualized strength and conditioning program. Yeah, great package for the off-season, pre-season. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Until next time. Here's a short video about our academy as well.
Hi, I'm Jack Mclean, an AFL football strength and conditioning coach, and I want to introduce you to the Prepare Like a Pro Academy. Our academy is a subscription-based platform where you can sign up to be a part of our community. If you get to the end of each episode of the podcast and are hungry for more, this is for you. Designed for aspiring AFL athletes and staff, you'll receive heaps of bonus weekly content, learn who the guests are in advance, and submit questions. Access to our Facebook group with Jack and other Prepare Like a Pro coaches. You'll be able to receive merchandise, program discounts and freebies, and get free access to our live events, exercise technique database, and much more. This is a great way for you to support the podcast, and it helps me with production and release of epic content for you guys each week. Your contribution goes a long way in making the Prepare Like a Pro community possible. For a small monthly fee, you'll have access to all of the special content released on our Academy forums. There's no lock-in and you can cancel absolutely anytime.